This is TNCRadio.live.
Hey y'all, this is Curtis Grimes, and I want to give a shout out and a special thank you to everyone associated with TNCRadio.live.
Come on in, everybody. It's time for the Southern Route. So what's the Southern Route all about? Well, it's about Southern stuff. Southern people, Southern music, Southern food, Southern nights, Southern traditions, nostalgia, and so much more. Thank you for joining me here on TNCRadio.live. I am your host, Shannon Currier. I'm coming to you from Wetumpka, Alabama, also known as the City of Natural Beauty. First, I want to say how excited I am about this opportunity to be a part of the TNC Radio family. Thank you all for giving me this chance to meet new people, talk to new people, and explore my creative side. If I'm honest, I'm a little bit nervous. This is not something I've ever done before, so y'all be patient with me as I learn the ropes. So what's the Southern Route all about? Well, it's about Southern stuff. Southern people, Southern music, Southern food, Southern nights, Southern traditions, nostalgia, and so much more. Now, you may be thinking, I'm not from the South, but wait, don't tune me out yet. We'll be detouring out of the South to talk to friends from all over this great country. People are fascinating to me. I love meeting new people and I love visiting new places. So I guess the best place to start is to share a little bit about me. Some of you may know me as the Director of Philanthropy with the St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund. That is me, but that is not all of me. And this show is not about the St. Christopher Fund. This show is a fun, personal adventure for me, just to try something new and be creative. So here we go. I was born in Greenville, South Carolina, and I moved to Montgomery, Alabama when I was 3. And I'm not going to tell you how long ago that was. I grew up a Southern girl. So let me paint you a picture. Maybe my picture looks a lot like yours. I have never killed a deer, but I have been hunting. And I have seen one killed. I have seen one dressed. Hanging in the front yard. I've been fishing more times than I can count. I've scaled fish. I've shelled peas and beans. I've used an outhouse. I have fed the farm animals. I've ridden dirt bikes, four-wheelers, motorcycles. We used to catch crawdads in the creek by my house. We have been spotlighting and mudding, and if you don't know what those are, we will talk about those on another episode. We used to sit around the bonfires on the tailgate of a pickup truck. We had a lot of fun just hanging out with friends and talking around the fire and singing songs. My first car was a 65 Mustang. It was copper with beige interior with a 289 V8 engine in it. And yes, I used to drag race the guys, and yes, I won. I also drove a truck for several years. It was a 5-speed, so yes, I know how to drive a stick. Full disclosure on the truck, though, it was black with hot pink stripes down both sides because, right, who doesn't love hot pink? Typical summer days for me growing up included walking down to the Zippy Mart, getting some banana Laffy Taffy or some grape bubble gum, a huge jar of giant pickles sitting on the kitchen counter at our house that we ate on all summer long, riding the bikes around the neighborhood with friends, swimming down at the local community center, walking across the street to watch the boys play baseball, playing third base on the softball team. That was my position. And we had a lake house, so I did a lot of kneeboarding at the lake. I never did get the hang of skiing, and I didn't like it, but I could ride the kneeboard. I was mean on the kneeboard. During the school year, you could find me under the bright lights at the football games in my cheerleading uniform, yelling "Go Tigers" in junior high school and "Go Poets" in high school. And yes, I know poets aren't scary, but the truth is we are as mighty with a pen as we are with a sword. So that's what we used to say in high school. After the games, we would head to Godfather's Pizza or TCBY or out to one of those bonfires to sit and hang out with friends. I absolutely love Alabama football. I love music and concerts, reading and dancing. My husband and I country western dance, and I line dance every week. We love to travel. I love the beach. And in case I forgot to mention it, I love Alabama football. Roll Tide. My parents are my heroes. They have been married 55 years. And even though it's a house divided, which means my dad is a huge Alabama fan, my mom is a diehard Tennessee fan who grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee. They got married on the Alabama-Tennessee game 55 years ago. So that's a lot of rivalry, but they've lasted. Some of my best memories include scrambled egg sandwiches made by my mom before school. One of my favorite suppers was fried hot dogs and sauerkraut with macaroni and cheese, beans, and fried cornbread. My dad used to make homemade chili in the fall for those cool fall weekends. We spent holidays with our family and with my cousins. We never had a lot of snow down here in Alabama. I can remember twice in my lifetime that it snowed here in Montgomery. I do remember my mama and papa lived in Texas, and when they would come to visit us here, they would always stop by Crystal, the hamburger place, but they didn't have them in Texas. So they stopped there on the way to the house. They had to have those first, and they brought huge bags of crystals to the house. And during the middle of the night, my papa would wake all of us kids up, and we would heat up those leftover crystals in the oven, and we would sit and talk to my papa in the middle of the night. I remember visiting my granny and papa in Decatur, Alabama, going to their farm, fishing at the pumps, their cute little house with 3 bedrooms and 1 bath. That never seemed to be an issue with 10 people. 1 bathroom, 10 people, never a problem. Today, I think we have a problem at our house with 4 of us and 3 bathrooms. I'm one of those girls I've known my best friend since 2nd grade. Her name is Susan. She's been a part of pretty much every memory I have growing up and every memory that I have now. She lives 20 minutes down the road. I have been married for 26 years to my husband, Sam. Yes, to the same person. And he's a Yankee. He's from Vermont. And we'll do a whole show all about that later. So you'll have to stay tuned for that. We have 2 amazing sons, 22 and 17, 18 in 2 weeks, actually. My oldest is graduating this summer with his degree in graphic design, and my youngest is headed to Auburn University this fall for computer science and software engineering. Very proud of these young men. So what I do every day is I talk to people and I ask them to make a donation to support professional truck drivers. But what I learned a very long time ago was that relationships are what's most important. Getting to know people beyond what they do for a job, beyond the company that they work for. Who are they as a person? What do they do in their free time? That's the fun stuff. So that's what we're going to be doing here on the Southern Route. We're going to be talking to people about a lot of things, lots of Southern things and a few not so Southern things. And we're going to reminisce and we're going to laugh and we're going to enjoy good conversation and we're going to get to know people. We're going to share their stories. And as we go along, I would love to hear from you all about what you want to talk about. So I don't know about you. It's been a busy day for me, and I'm ready to sit back and relax and spend a few minutes chatting with friends. As my granny used to say, come and sit a spell and let's have us a little chat. So on this debut episode, I'm excited to be joined by my friend Mandy Hayes. She's the editor at National Truckin magazine and the current Mrs. Alabama Prime. We'll be right back with the Southern Route on tncradio.live.
It's Landline Now, followed by Steve Summers' Overnight Drive every night on tncradio.live starting at 11 p.m. Eastern and 10 p.m. Central.
Hi, I'm Dr. Christopher Cortman, and now for the Mental Health Minute. The great Alfred Adler used to talk about children quite a bit. And he said, children are very astute observers, but they draw erroneous conclusions about what they've observed. Therefore, they need adults to help them translate what they're witnessing and to put a good perspective on it. Case in point, years ago, a 4-year-old boy watched his father in the backyard swimming pool going headfirst down the slide into the water. When he hit the water, his hairpiece came off. Nothing was said. It was not a big deal. But several weeks later, at the boy's birthday party, everyone was going down that same slide into the pool. The boy's father challenged him to go head first and even pushed him. And all the way down the slide, he screamed, "No!" Great tears. When he finally hit the water, he was hysterically crying. The father said, "What's wrong? What's wrong? You've been down the slide 1,000,000 times." And he said, "I don't want my hair to come off." Excellent observation, quite astute, but an erroneous conclusion. So what do we do with that? We ask children what they're thinking. We find out how they're processing things. We give them the opportunity to feel safe to tell us what's on their mind. And wherever it's necessary, we correct their thinking. We give them more accurate information, and information that helps them to feel safer and better about themselves. And then hopefully they'll be able to keep their head and keep their hair.
Be sure to listen to Building Strong Minds with Dr. Chris, Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, right here on tncradio.live. For the latest in Houston traffic, weather, news, and information, don't miss The Evening Surge on tncradio.live.
Welcome back to the Southern Route on tncradio.live. I am your host, Shannon Currier, and as promised at the end of last segment, I'm joined by my fantabulous, yes, that's a Southern word, fantabulous friend, Mandy Hayes, the editor at National Truckin Magazine and the current Miss Alabama Prime. Hello, my beautiful friend.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I could listen to you all day, and fantabulous is a word. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, it is.
Yes, I'm just saying. I like it. I like
it. Jujungus. Have you ever heard that word, jujungus? That's a word, too.
Jujungus?
Jujungus. Yeah, I think it's like 3 words put together.
Jujungus. So what's the word?
Jujungus. Humongous.
Gigantic,
and something else.
Fungus. Why not?
Jujungus fungus. I like it. I'm so excited about this first episode.
Me too. Thank you for having me. I'm so honored. I told my husband, I was like, Shannon, text me. I'm so excited. And then, of course, he's on the call. He's like giving me the finger. I'm like, this is an emergency. This is now. This is huge. I'm so excited for you. Thank you for including me.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's something new for me, something creative for me, and something I'm going to give a shot. And I hope people enjoy it. And we're just here to have a conversation and find out the story behind the people. Everybody knows. Everybody may not know. They would know they should who National Truckin Magazine is. But tell us what National Truckin Magazine is to start with.
Oh, wow. We're going on our 10th year, and that's crazy. It's crazy to think that it's been 10 years, period, because, it's June 1st, and I feel like it was just May. Time is just flying by. But anyway, National Truckin Magazine was started by Jerry Hayes, who's my father-in-law, and my husband, and they started, I want to say it's 12.
Is your father-in-law and your husband?
No, I'm sorry. Jerry Hayes and my girl, now we're from the South, but not like that. We ain't rolling like that. I'm sorry. I guess I could give my husband a name, huh? I always assume everybody knows who Jimmy is. But so his dad, Jerry Hayes, and my husband, Jimmy Hayes, thank you for clarifying that, because they were like, I mean, okay, Alabama. Anyway, so they started the magazine, I think it was December of 2012. And I was working as an insurance agent. And I was like, well, I mean, y'all know your thing. And when it gets off the ground, then maybe I'll come in, And then they're like, well, why don't you write some of our stuff? And I was like, oh, okay. So I think it was maybe February when the first issue went out. I can't even remember. I think I may have wrote the first one. And then in May is when I turned in my notice and walked away from all that good stuff. And I've just been riding the ride with them. Now, my job is the fun part of it. Like Jimmy has the stressful job. He has to do all the artwork and produce the magazines and sell. And I'm like, I don't really like selling. You know what I mean? Like I like connecting and hanging out with all the people, but I don't want to sell. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people feel like if they say no to you, that you're not going to be friends with them anymore or something like that. You know what I mean? Because it's a small circle. You know everybody. Even if they go from company to company, you still know them. You stay connected. And so I get the good part of it. But we go nationwide. Right now we're in Loves and a bunch of independents. I want to say we have maybe 45. Let me underquote it so I don't get in trouble. But 4,000 locations nationwide. And we go to schools, which is really good because we're getting a lot of companies saying that they want us to, deliver to their Truckin schools and all that stuff and kind of give the new drivers an option of, where to go and all that. So it's really cool.
That's awesome.
Now we have 2 other sister companies too. We have Driving Force and Owner Operator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that's us, but it's like, oh, woof, woof.
I don't think I knew that was you. I learned something new, and I learned we both have a history of working in insurance. It's exciting stuff, isn't it?
Oh, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
I'd like to say I miss it, but I'd be lying.
I would be too.
Too close to Sunday to be lying, girl.
Yeah, can't say it. Can't say it. Don't miss it one iota.
No.
So that's, about work and who you are about work. But we know this whole show is about what is beyond the work, what is makes up Mandy Hayes outside of working with National Truckin Magazine, because we know there's so much more to you and so much more to most of us than what we do for a job. So, we want to learn some more things about Mandy Hayes. So I know.
Don't you feel weird when you're put on the spot and you have to talk about you? And so that's new to me because I interview pretty much daily other people. But then when it's turned on me, girl, I turned into like Rain Man. I was like,
It's hard to talk about ourselves.
I'm learning to not short myself. And I don't know if that just comes from women just thinking that whatever we say is irrelevant or nobody wants to hear it or we're just unworthy of whatever. And we try to hurry up and get it all out. You know what I mean? Kind of like, you said you wanted to go back and it's like, okay, let me slow it down. Let me polish myself because in our minds, we know what we want to put out there, but then I don't know. So I'm training myself to be a little more conscious on it's okay. If nobody wants to hear me or listen to me or look at me, then that's fine. Because at first I was so worried. I don't like speaking in public. You give me a podium and a mic and I'm out. I will run on water. I will grow wings. I will fly with a napkin. Like it freaks me out, but I'm trying to just, accept it and be like, yeah. Anyway, so public speaking and all that I'm trying to learn because in October, I earned the title of Miss Alabama Prime. And Prime Pageants is a new system, but the reason why I kind of want to go into it is because they focus on women, it's not just a beauty pageant on the outside. They want you to focus on whatever goals you're wanting to work on. And then also they encourage you to get involved within your community. So when I hit my 40s and Jasmine had her daughter, and I'm like, that's all I ever knew, to be a mom. I mean, I had her when I was 17. She's all I've ever known. But now that she has her own baby, I'm like, well, now what is my role?
Right.
What's my new purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? Grandparent life's all good and gravy, but it's like, now what? you know.
Who am I
So,
now? Yeah.
yeah.
Who am I
What
now?
now?
I'm not a mom.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're still a mom, but you don't have to do, she doesn't need taking care of like she used to. You
And
know?
grandparenting is different because I'm having to step back. I'm not allowed to, I mean, I am allowed, but I try not to. I'm not trying, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to, whatever. So
spoil them and send them home.
Yeah. Well, home is here. So, so it's like, right. So run with scissors. I feel like I'm in a place to say no, you know, but as far as everything else, I'm like, the discipline and everything, it's different as a grandparent. So anyway, I was like coming into my 40s, I was like, okay, so I'm going to, number one, I'm going to work on me. I'm going to work on my self-worth, because a lot of people just assume when you smile and you're great with people that it's all good and gravy. And it's not in my case, for me personally. Anyway, so I wanted to work on my raising the bar for self-worth. And then number two, find my purpose. Not just my purpose. I mean, like the purpose. But I can't do that unless I'm like confident and believing in myself. And third is actually being about it, not just thinking about it, talking about it, but being about it. Like you're chasing this venture. We don't know what's coming on the other side of the door, but you know what? Let's march through it. If it's available and you're saying that I could do it, I'm going to believe in myself. I'm going to find a purpose in it. And then I'm just going to give it all I got. And Pride Pageants has pushed me in that direction. And the women in our system, listen, they are amazing. I've never connected with this many women in my entire life, because most of the time women are either chatty. Do you know what I mean? Like women, we're very intuitive.
Right.
So, but with this, like even meeting them, and they have group texts and we have Zooms, and it's all women with the same type of barrier issues from within. And you wouldn't think that. So that's what I really like. And then pushing you to work within the community was another big thing. So that goes back to my number two of finding a purpose. And I knew that I wanted to get with an organization that helped young women in that very small window of, vulnerability. Because I know as a teenager, being adopted by my family's white, and I love them to death, but they're not Filipino, so they can't help me in that manner. You know what I mean? And none of them were adopted, so I didn't really have anybody to talk to. And I struggled a lot, like growing up as a teenager, because number one, I didn't like that I was different. Nowadays, it's like different is in. So like, this is my time and I'm owning it. But as a kid, it sent me down like a spiral case of depression. And sister, I was going in circles. It was just, I looked in all the wrong places for validation that I was worthy, because just being adopted from an orphanage, that kind of lingered with me, just being abandoned and thinking I'm not good enough. Even though my family was loving, they couldn't relate and they couldn't talk about it.
Right.
So I wanted to like connect with an organization where I can relate, because I can't tell a little boy how to be a little boy, but I can definitely tell a little girl that it's all right, that she's not okay. It's okay to fall apart every now and then.
Right.
But you need to find an outlet, that healthy outlet, and just know that it's going to be okay. So the group that the nonprofit organization that I mentor with is called Women with a Purpose. And they're based here in Easton. And it's amazing. When I say life-changing, I mean amazing. Because when I Googled it, all I could find was big girls. What is that? Big sisters and big brothers.
Right. Big brothers, big sisters. Yeah.
What's the other one? What's the YMCA? And those are good programs. It's just I wanted more of a one-on-one, type of organization. So I found Women with a Purpose, and I met with the leader of it. Not leader. It sounds like a cult. The founder of Women with a Purpose, Crystal Vinson. I want to say she started it maybe in 2013. She's amazing. When I say amazing, I don't know how many I don't know. I don't know how she does what she does, but she started this on her own because she got pregnant very young. Like me, I was 16 and then had Jasmine when I was 17, which I don't recommend, but it's a lot more common now. But the reality shows are nothing like how it is. You know, oh my goodness, I do not recommend. 1 star, thumbs down. Teenage pregnancy hard, you know.
Yeah.
But that's a part of the mentorship too. We go to a middle school that's like 15 minutes away, and the counselor and the principal select like 10 ladies from ages 11 to 14. We're trying to catch them before they go into high school.
Yes.
From, I don't want to say troubled homes, just different backgrounds that could use some mentorship. And the girls that come in, it's hard because, oh man, it's just difficult getting through to them and just letting them know that there is a person that cares. So that part of the pageant part, if nothing even comes of the pageant, like if it were to just be tomorrow and I'm not ready and it rains and my hair falls out, nothing else comes of it, I feel like I've already won, because I told Chris, I was like, I mean, it's like the girls don't even know I'm in the pageant, because I don't want them to think that the pageant is why I'm there.
Right.
Yes, the pageant led me to them, you know, to get involved, but yeah, we're already planning next school year and everything. It's amazing. So it's another door. Like that door is probably like a castle-sized door. And I'm just like tiptoeing in, like, what is going on? And it's a whole world of, I wish I would have had the program that I'm helping with when I was their age. Because when I come in, they're like, oh, Miss Hayes, you know what I mean? And It's like, they don't even understand. When we actually, it took me a few visits to actually get any of them to open up. But the first few hugs I got,
that made it all worth it right there.
It did. Yeah, it did. So.
Well, we are off to a great start, guys. We're going to take a short break, but we are not letting Mandy go. Right? She is coming back. There's still plenty more that we are going to learn about Mandy, but this has been amazing. It sounds like this nonprofit, Women with a Purpose, is an absolutely amazing program, and exciting that you got led there by the Ms. Alabama Prime. So we want to learn more about Miss Mandy. You're listening here on TNC Radio Live, and we will be right back.
Trucking Moves America Forward, or TMAF, is boosting the image of the industry by telling the story of trucking, and your story can be part of it. Upload a photo. Tell us what you love about trucking, or send us a story about a good deed or charitable act in trucking. Be sure to follow us on social media and contact us through truckingmovesamerica.com. That's truckingmovesamerica.com.
Catch Landline Now every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, along with an encore presentation weekdays at noon, right here on tncradio.live.
Kathy Decaro is nothing short of amazing. She not only drives the world's biggest truck as a heavy equipment operator in northern Alberta, Canada. She's an international motivational speaker and the author of Dream Big, an autobiography about overcoming a lifetime of trauma and abuse that led to dreams of success. Kathy inspires people the world over to change their lives and improve their self-worth. Her book will change your life. She's passionate about personal growth and believes anyone can change their circumstances and overcome their obstacles if they believe in themselves. Her life will amaze you and seriously inspire you. Be sure to order a copy of her book, Dream Big, on Amazon.com. I'm Shelley Johnson with Kathy Decaro. You can hear us Tuesdays on tncradio.live at 8 p.m. Eastern on Women Road Warriors. And don't miss Steve Summers' Overnight Drive right here on tncradio.live, weeknights midnight to 5 a.m. Eastern. Brought to you by Hot Shot Secret.
Hey guys, we're back on TNC Radio Live with Southern Route. This is Shannon Courier. We are back here with Mandy Hayes. If you listened to our last segment, you heard us talk about her involvement with the Mrs. Alabama Prime pageant, as well as her, deeply meaningful relationship with this new nonprofit, Women with a Purpose. You heard her mention that she was adopted, and she is Filipino, and her family is not Filipino. They are white. And you probably would not have guessed listening to her that she was Filipino, because she sounds pretty much like me. So tell us how this Southern accent came to be.
Oh, wow. I get so much flack for my accent, because they're like, wow. But my dad, when he adopted me from the Philippines, was serving in the military. And we moved back when I was, I believe, 3. And he retired when I was in elementary. And they're all from the Sylacauga area. So, of course, we came back home. Mm-hmm. We moved to Lincoln for a few months, and then we settled down in Jacksonville. But I don't really know when or how the accent picked up, but it's just, it will not leave. It will not leave, but I catch myself saying some of the stuff like, what did we say? I think Jimmy or Jasmine might have asked for some ranch, because, I mean, we eat ranch on everything, but I was like, we ain't got no more. I was like, what? Wait a minute. Who says we ain't got no more? Hey. And then Josie, my 2.5-year-old grandbaby, was walking around the couch and hit her toe. And she said, oh, I stumped my toe. Not stumped your toe. Lord of mercy. Yeah. The accent's real heavy, and it's funny when I talk to people, and they don't see me. Like, they call in back when I did insurance, and they would call in the office, and they would walk in and they would say that they're there to see Mandy. And I was like, well, you got me. Surprise.
Surprise. I'm a little Southern belle.
Yeah. I can't help it. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I mean, I don't want to change it, but at the same time, I forget that I sound like this. When I get on Zoom, like, hey, y'all. And Jimmy's like, got it, dial it back. I was like, oh, what? I'm trying.
I do the same thing, and I'm not going to want to listen to my shows because, one, I have a kind of a low voice, and in my head, I don't think I sound as Southern as I actually sound. And if I talk to somebody who has a really heavy accent, mine comes back. I used to have a heavier accent than I do. And I moved away from Alabama. I moved to Albuquerque for 2 years, pretty much lost my accent altogether. And then we lived in Tennessee for 22 years, and it wasn't quite as strong. And then I come back home 8 years ago, and it's just kicked in full force. And so sometimes I try to correct it. But then other times, you talk to somebody like, Sam, my husband, he's from Vermont. So the first time we went up there, his friends just stared at me. And I was like, what? And they're like, just talk. We just want to hear you talk. And so, I hear it's a pretty cool and sexy accent. So we're just going to go with it.
Did you see that meme on Facebook when it's say it with your Southern accent? It's like, cornbread.
Cornbread. Cornbread.
Cornbread. Which is my favorite, with some milk.
Oh, girl.
And milk in a bowl. I could eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh, my gosh. I have not had that
from a skillet.
Like
as a crunchy? Yes.
It's got to be the crunchy pieces. Oh, my gosh. Have you ever had the cornbread that is like in little circles? You put it in little circles. You fry it
like a muffin?
No, it's like a pancake.
Uh-uh.
Oh, girl, my mom used to make those. You take the batter and you put it in little circles like you would put a pancake on a skillet, but it's in a pan with grease, and it makes these little flat pancake cornbreads. Oh, my gosh, that stuff is so good.
Oh, you have me in cornbread. I mean, it don't even matter.
All right, now question on the cornbread. Do you put sugar in your cornbread?
Oh, yeah. For the sweet one, now when I do the sweet one, I could do it with coffee. Like, it's good with coffee. But I mean, I don't always, I'm not going to lie, I don't really make my cornbread. But when he does, he could slip some sugar in it. But sometimes he makes is it Martha? In the yellow, like the zip one? Is that Martha or something?
I don't know what brand.
I don't even know the brands. I got a good husband. I just kind of request as I rub my belly, I sure could go for some cornbread. cornbread. He's a cooker.
Jumps in there and whips it up for you, right?
He does. He's a cooker. His mom was like, I raised him and his brother to make sure that they could survive without a woman. I was like, well, I appreciate it. I mean, he can't survive without me because, but I do appreciate it because I am full all the time. That's
right. You got a good husband there cooking for you. I guess he cooks it in the wrought iron skillet.
Of all sizes. Like there's a small one and a medium and a large. The large is for my pineapple upside down cake.
Oh, so that your cake is cooked in a skillet too.
Yeah, it's got to be crunchy.
Southern boy right there. My granny made my cakes in those too. Pineapple upside down cake. So that's your favorite.
Yes. Do you think they have grannies up north, or do we just call our grandmothers granny? Is that a universal word? Like for all of them?
No, we may have to do a show about that, about what you call your grandmother all across the country.
If not, you need to get you a Southern granny because mine did not play. She did not play around.
Mine didn't either. My granny, they had a house in the city, of course, but they also had a farm. And there was like no electricity. I mean, had an outhouse. And I mean, she canned the food. She made the best sauerkraut, but she canned the food. Everything was made from scratch. I mean, she could whip up biscuits faster than anybody I know. And that's one of my favorite memories of my granny. My cousin and I, when we went for visits, they lived in this little house. It was 3 bedrooms and 1 bath, right? There's 10 of us in there. Never had an issue with anybody needing the bathroom while somebody else was in there. Now I live in a house with 3 bathrooms and 4 of us, and we're like, somebody's got to go, right?
Yeah.
So we're all out of this little house, and we go in the kitchen, and Saturday mornings we would fight. My cousin and I, whoever got up first, one of us had to make the biscuits, and one of us got to make the chocolate gravy. And we always wanted to make the chocolate gravy. So whoever got up first got that stool. If you didn't get in there first, you had to make the biscuits. So that is one of my favorite memories of my granny, is cooking in her kitchen with her.
Oh, that's sweet.
And she always made, my favorite cake is yellow cake with chocolate icing. And she always made the cakes in the wrought iron skillet. Now, I am not that talented. No. And my husband, bless his heart, he's from Vermont. He does not know how to cook in a wrought iron skillet. He just doesn't.
Oh,
so
really?
I'm not spoiled on that piece. But luckily I learned how to cook it myself.
It's okay, Sam. You don't need to steal it. It's all right.
Oh my gosh. Lord. So pineapple upside down cake, and now Jimmy is the preparer of the cake.
That's right.
Is that what you get for your birthdays?
Yes, every year. My granny did it every year growing up. And then when she passed, he kind of, because I was like, it's my birthday cake of the year. Like every year we each get to pick what cake we want. And like Jasmine just had hers Tuesday, and she wanted ice cream cake from Dairy Queen. And I'm talking about, we devoured it. I think we left 1 slice, and the whole time we're just picking out. We're like, why do we only have this once a year? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, I know. And until it was gone, and we're miserable and we hate everybody. But did your granny make you go outside and pick your switch and break it off, bring it in there and strip it down and beat you down and make you go up and down your legs with your pants off and prancing around like you're bringing the rain? Because if not, girl, mine either.
My granny did not, but not to me, with the grandkids, she was not like that with the grandkids.
Oh, well, she was raising us. So she's like, listen, a hand and a paddle will not work, child. Go get me something from the earth. From the earth. It just,
we need something grown from the earth, and Lord provided to beat this evil this child.
Yes, something else. She was awesome. You can't granny the way grannies grannied. You know what I mean?
No, grannies just aren't the same as they used to be. That's just the way it is. And I sure miss mine. And I'm gonna have.
But you know what? The thing with being raised in the South, though, Southern hospitality is a real thing. You know what I mean? Like they say, the Southern states and Southern charm and all that, but I think Southern hospitality is definitely something that I take pride in, because you go up north and everybody's so busy. Everybody's so go, go, go. Like nobody even holds doors open anymore. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
I mean, even it's just the little things that I feel like was ingrained in me being raised in the South. The whole polite thing. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. You don't even get that nowadays. You know what I mean?
No, you barely get that anymore. Yeah. And that's me. Yes, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. And, you know, you always made sure you were taking care of your elders and that they were, you know, they came first. They just came first. And you'd always pleasant with people. You always greeted people. You always said hello. And Sam's family moved from Vermont down to North Carolina. And they moved to a little part of the town that's like the historic part of town, where the houses are really close together and they're right up against the sidewalk, you know, on the street. And his brother, they would go sit out on the front porch. And he said, oh my goodness, I can't even sit out on the front porch. Literally everybody that comes by wants to say hello. And I'm like, yes, because that's what we do here. That's what we do. He said, I can't even sit outside on the porch. I'm like, oh, bless your heart. You know, because I just want to say hey to everybody and how's it going and how's your day? And, you know, especially the person that may not look like they're having a great day. I'm like, oh, are you having a bad day? And, you know, you want to try to make them laugh. And so there is something to be said for that Southern hospitality. And I am, like you, 100% proud to be from the South. And, you know, people say, oh, Alabama, and there's all kinds of jokes that go with that. But, you know, I'm proud of where I grew up, and I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud of how I was raised.
Jasmine gets on to me all the time. Like we were leaving the gym one day, and this lady was walking up, and she didn't really look like she was comfortable going into the gym. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And Jasmine's like, don't do it, Mom. Don't do it. I was like, I can't help it. I was like, hey, how are you? I love your leggings. Because sometimes it doesn't take much. It really don't. You know what I mean? Because I could be feeling like straight, you know, and just walking through, and someone could actually just acknowledge me. And that's all it takes.
That's right. And, you know, a lot of times people say, you know, don't talk to that stranger, or, you know, your kids get embarrassed. But I mean, how good does it make you feel if just literally some stranger says, you know, your hair looks really good today. And you're like, really? Well, thank you. I mean, you just made my day. Or they'll ask you about your kids. I had somebody ask me last week about, you know, my kids. And I was saying they're 22 and 18. And she was like, what? You don't look old enough to have kids that old. And I was like, you are my new best friend.
Right.
You know? Right. It's just, you know, it doesn't take much to be kind to people and to say something positive. And just like you say, acknowledge and recognize people. How hard is that? That's what we do down here.
I know I like it, so I try to give that back. And I noticed, well, I don't notice, but I feel like a lot of more people do the pay it forward surprises down here at home, around home. Jasmine came home from Dollar General, is what she calls it. Dollar General. And she's like, I just sat
down here.
Yeah. Maybe that's a Southern thing. I don't know.
Is
it?
Yeah.
Cornbread. I forgot what she went in there for, but it was like diapers and wipes. And she's like, Mom, I sat in the car and cried for like 5 minutes. I was like, wow, what happened? She said that some old man behind her bought everything. And she's like, you don't have to do that, because it was all diapers and wipes and stuff with the baby. She's like, thank you so much. She's like, well, I've had a really bad day, so I'm hoping it'll make me feel better by blessing you. And I was just like, see, you don't get that everywhere. You really don't.
You don't. And usually because it's the hustle and the bustle, and sometimes in our smaller towns.
And I get it, because I stay busy too. So, I mean, I get it, but man, I sure am glad to be from here. You know what I mean?
Me too.
From little old where I stumped my toe.
That's right. Well, y'all, we're closing out our second segment here with Mandy. Thank you for tuning in with us here on TNC Radio. We're going to take our last break of the show, and then we'll be back to close things out.
Hey, rideshare drivers and gig economy workers. The host of TNCRadio.live, the Rideshare Rodeo Podcast, and the Gig Economy Podcast come together for news, talk, music, stories, laughs, and more. We're live Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, right here on tncradio.live.
Do you have the tncradio.live app? It's free and easy to download. Just go to app.tncradio.live, Google Play, or the App Store. Get access to live streaming radio developed by drivers for drivers. Download the tncradio.live app today.
I'm Shelley Johnson with Kathy Decaro. You can hear us Tuesdays on tncradio.live at 8 p.m. Eastern on Women Road Warriors. And don't miss Steve Summers' Overnight Drive right here on tncradio.live. Weeknights, midnight to 5 a.m. Eastern. Brought to you by Hot Shot Secret.
Welcome back to TNC Radio Live and the Southern Route. We're back for our final segment of this debut episode, and we're here to play a little game. We're here with Mandy Hayes. We've been talking to her the whole hour, of course, editor at National Trucking Magazine and the current Mrs. Alabama Prime. And you've heard her talk about her husband, Jimmy, during this interview, and he has graciously joined us, the pineapple upside down cake maker, and this is husband Jimmy, not father-in-law Jimmy, because we had to clear that up at the beginning of the show. Thanks for joining us, Jimmy.
No problem.
Okay, so we're going to play a game in this last segment, and the game is called the 5-second game. So I'm going to give you a topic, and you have to name 3 things within 5 seconds that's associated with that topic. Okay, so a simple example, topic would be colors. And if I say the topic's colors, you have to name 3 colors in 5 seconds.
Okay, I'm so ready.
All right, so Mandy's going to go first because, we're from the South and ladies always go first in the South. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so, all right. All right, here is your first topic, and you got 5 seconds to name 3 types of flowers. Go.
Roses, daffodils, tulips.
You got it. Excellent. Okay.
He said I might be screwed.
I won't ask you about flowers. Okay. The next topic is 3 things you do with potatoes. Go.
Mashed potatoes.
Wait, it's me, right? Is it me? Okay.
Yes.
Fried, baked, mashed. I was about to say scrambled.
All right, I'm going to give you that one because Jimmy interrupted you. So, all right, we're sticking with Mandy until she doesn't get her 3. All right, all right, here we go. All right, flavors of ice cream. Go.
Vanilla, chocolate, strawberry.
Ooh, that one was fast.
I like some ice cream.
All right, girl, I'm with you on that. Okay, the next one is 3 musical instruments. Go.
Flute, guitar, drums.
Oh, you're good.
Girl, let's do it.
All right.
He said, I don't even know why I'm playing.
He loves games.
I do love games.
I know, girl, you're competitive. I knew you'd be competitive, and going against Jimmy, you're going to win. That's
right. That's right.
All right, here we go. 3 flavors of soda. Go.
Dr. Pepper, Coke, Pepsi. Are those sodas? Those are sodas, right?
Yeah.
Those are sodas. I don't drink soda. I'm like, that's soda, right?
I don't either.
All right, here we go. 3 objects you find in a bathroom. Go.
Toilet paper, and toilet paper covers. I mean, it's just a central station for me.
Oh, like in a public bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I got you. All right. All right, here we go. 3 things that can fly. Go.
Bird, butterfly, and a dragon. They fly, right?
Dragon? Yeah, but
dragonfly? Dragonfly.
You are fictional.
All right. All right. That was a little iffy. All right. Here we go. 3 types of cereal. Go.
Cocoa Pebbles, Fruity Pebbles, and Fruit Loops.
Yeah. You're good. I might run out of topics with you. I'm just telling you. All right, here we go. 3 things that are yellow. Go.
Flowers, smiley faces, and the sun.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, let me see if I can find something a little harder. All right, let's see. Can we name 3 things that we turn off? Go.
Lights, camera.
That's good. All right. She's doing good, Jimmy. I don't know. I don't know if you can beat this.
This kind of games, I'm not as competitive as she is.
Yeah.
He wants a game where you can put me in a headlock.
Yeah, we might be here a while. Jimmy, I'm going to go ahead and give you a shot. All right, let's just see if you can try to keep up, okay? Here we go. All right, here we go. It's Jimmy's turn. All right, 3 professional football teams. Go.
Cowboys, Atlanta Falcons, and Tennessee Titans.
Very good. Got it. Okay. 3 ways, because I know you cook. 3 ways you can cook eggs.
Bull, scrambled, upside down, or scattered, covered, smothered.
Upside down.
Upside down. I bet he was thinking sunny side up.
Yeah,
that's
there you go. There you go. That's just how we say it in the South, upside down.
That's right, upside down. All right, ready? 3 subjects in school. Go.
Math, science, history.
Oh.
Yeah, that was easy.
He's showing out.
He's showing off. He's going to let you win.
I would have been
All
like
right.
PE.
That's what I should have said.
PE lunch.
See?
See?
That's what you do. I'm telling you. All right. 3 types of candy bars. Go.
Snickers, Milky Ways, Almond Joys.
There you go. All right. Let's do 3 flavors of cookies. Go.
Macadamia chocolate chip and snickerdoodle.
Oh.
Snickerdoodle.
I mean, like a quarter of a second left.
Did the doodle make it in?
The Snicker might
Because
make
he already
it in.
said Snicker.
I don't know about the doodle.
I know, but did the doodle make it in?
She's already trying to win. She's trying to edge you out already. Here we go. Okay, let's do 3 places you can swim. Go.
Ocean, lake, pool.
You got it. That would have been my 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's doing good. He's keeping up.
I know. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's not good. Not good for you. All right. All right. Let's name 3 yellow things. Go.
Sun, flower, car.
Car. Okay. I was about to say, you copycat.
I'll still see if he named the same ones you did.
Good. You could have said my hair, a bumblebee.
Your hair?
I mean, it's yellow.
Your hair's never been yellow.
Blonde. Anyway.
Well, yeah, it's ombre.
If it's yellow, you got something messed up.
I need a toner is what he's saying if it's yellow.
Right, that's right. All right, let's name 3 countries. Go.
U.S., Russia, China.
Hey, you just went right in.
Be like an all-day game with y'all. Y'all are good at that. Telling you what. All right, let's do 3 fast food restaurants. Go.
Taco Bell's, Hardee's, Burger King.
Dang. You can tell anything with food, I feel like we've got.
You got covered. You got covered. All right, let me see if I can think of something really hard. I thought the things we turn off might give you just, a second of pause, but you didn't. That didn't even make you pause. All right, let's do name 3 planets. Go.
Mars, Earth, Saturn.
I know. I think y'all tied now.
I don't
I get a winner between y'all.
We need a tiebreaker.
I don't know. Now I got to think of something really hard.
Yeah. 5 for 5 seconds.
5 things in 5 seconds. All right, here we go.
Whoever gets the most.
Here's the tiebreaker.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
All right. Take a breath. Here we go. All right. Let's name 5 breeds of dogs. Go.
poodles, chihuahuas, mutts, puppies, dogs, chows.
You lost.
Dang it, was Yorkie Poo. Gordon Doodle. Is that what it's called? A golden same thing.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh, no. Whose idea was this?
Yours.
All right, here we go, Jim. Let's see if you can get yours and you'll be the winner. All right. 5 salty things. Go.
Crackers, chips. I don't know.
The ocean.
Yeah, ocean.
I was thinking that.
5 seconds already.
Did I win?
You won.
Wait,
well, you got 4 out of your 5, and he got like 2 out of his last 5. So we're gonna have to default to Mandy.
We both failed.
I can do something.
Did great. I had to get harder so we could even try to have a winner because y'all were right on it.
It was fun.
Thank y'all for playing the game. I appreciate it. We're going to try to do a game a month. We'll have a new one next time. We're going to play the same one for a month, and then we'll have a new game for the next month. So thank you guys for playing. It's been a fantastic time. Y'all have a great time on vacay.
We will. Thanks for having us on again. That was awesome.
That was fun. Thanks for being on the Southern Route on TNCRadio.live.
I like it.
Have a good one.
I like it.
All right. Bye, y'all. Have fun. A final thank you from the bottom of my heart for spending some time with me on the Southern Route on TNC Radio Live. Huge thanks to my friend Mandy and her husband Jimmy for joining me today for this debut episode. I have had a great time. I hope you have enjoyed it as well. I look forward to talking to you next week on Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. Central, right here on TNCRadio.live. Talk to you then.
Don't forget, you can hear all of our TNC Radio primetime shows again on our podcasts. Just go to tncradio.live/podcasts or search for tncradio.live wherever you listen to podcasts.